Celtics. Attention, Green Nation. The game is over now, and before the analysis gets cold, let's get straight to the point. 7 good and 3 bad for the Celtics against the Wolves. If you're excited about the runs and angry about the wasted possessions, we're in this together. I felt the same way. Today I give you the biggest hit of the night, the mistake that could cost games, and in the end, the verdict that everyone wants. Did Josh Minott earn a spot in the rotation? No fluff, quick cuts, on-screen plays, and practical insights to help you get ahead in the conversation. Stay until the end for the note of the night and the answer about Minott. Let's do it. If you enjoy direct, no-nonsense analysis, leave a like now and subscribe to the channel. This really helps to bring this content to more Celtics fans. Activate the bell because soon there will be 7 good and 3 bad with quick clips. And, at the end, the verdict on Minott in the rotation. Let's go together? Continuing. If you've been following me for a while, you've heard me say that the preseason is a dress rehearsal. It's not worth a trophy, but it reveals character. It's the moment when teams show, without makeup, how they react to discomfort, how they deal with repeated failures, and where they look for answers when their legs feel heavy. Well, our preseason is behind us, and with it, a handful of lessons that are worth gold. Today, I want to talk to you as if we were side by side at halftime of a game at the Garden, breaking down what worked, what didn't work, and what that says about what's ahead. I'm going to divide it into blocks, but without formality. It's a conversation from the stands with the head of a tactical team. I'll start with the obvious, balance of pros and cons. Yes, we had setbacks that corrode any coach, serial turnovers and faltering rebounds, and I'm going to dive into them right away. But we also had promising signs that deserve great attention. And within that package, there is a name that you can't ignore, Josh Minott. Why Minott? Because he represents exactly the type of piece that, over a long season, becomes a silent difference. It's not just the energy, it's the rare combination of length of arms, progressing defensive reading, and a hunger for belonging that shines through in every possession. Minott plays like someone who knows that every minute is proof that they deserve the next one. This, for a cast that revolves around stars like Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, is pure gold. Every great team needs someone who accentuates their best players, someone who closes holes, runs the court, offers passing lanes, gives 2 or 3 extra possessions a night just by being in the right place at the right time. Minott showed precisely this profile, a modern all-rounder whose influence does not always appear in noisy numbers, but appears on the scoreboard. Notice how he moves without the ball, how he cuts from deep when the defense floats 1 step too far, how he contests shots without selling a cheap free kick. Also note how calm you are to do the simple thing. Return the ball to the creator. Widen the court. Don't sabotage the spacing. And there is one thing that excites those who live the game: mentality. He speaks and plays like someone who is grounded in the present, committed to today's work. In a squad that needs versatility and discipline, it is a natural marriage. On the other side of the scale, there is an issue that will stay with us for a while longer: Anthony Simons. Let's be fair. The shot is beautiful, reliable, and having a 3-point threat at the right volume changes the design of defenses. But if the goal is to compete every day, you need to be more than a shooter. The next step for Simons is to assume a 3-level scoring role with consistency, convert on floaters, finish on contact, dictate pace as the primary creator when the play calls for it, and mainly to mature the game without the ball and in defense of the pick and roll. Navigating blockades is not detail. It is survival on the perimeter. Positioning, shoulder angle, step time, knowing when to engage from above, when to top lock, when to call for change. All of this can be trained, but it requires obsession. I insist on these aspects because, at various times during the preseason, our tendency to lose the ball and give second chances at the rival's rim created invisible chains on our ankles. Turnovers take away possession, take away the rhythm, and deliver layups. And when you deliver layups, the defense doesn't organize itself, the rotation starts late, the defensive rebound disappears. It seems like an isolated statistic, but it's not it's tactical dominoes. Therefore, there is no more practical objective for the start of the season than reducing waste. Reducing from 17 to 18 to 12 to 13 per night completely changes the type of game you impose. Add to this a defensive rebound rate of around 70%, and the team stops swimming against the current. But rebounding is talent. Not always. A lot of it is habit. Box out is a choice. It's seeing the ball in the air and before thinking about running, finding your man, lowering the base, touching it, sealing the space, and only then going after it. A team that those looking for pace need to deserve the race. First the possession, then the transition. And communication helps as much as height. A cop, said half a second before, avoids 2 more steps from the opponent towards the bottle. Speaking of bottles, the rotation of large ones offers a curious mosaic. It's not a matter of finding the perennial starter, but rather of adjusting the magnifying glass night by night. There are Luka Garza games, in which the soft touch and angle reading on the handoff unlock the attack. There are Nemia's Keita nights, in which physical presence, second ball, and rim protection set the tone. There are games by Xavier Tillman, the center who connects small details, light screens at the right time, security pass, body in the passing line. And there are times when it's best to mix 2 profiles to respond to a specific confrontation. None of them alone is a panacea. Together, they offer a menu. The secret will be self-perception, accepting that today is not my night is competitive maturity. And when it's your night, squeeze every drop out of it. On the perimeter, 2 inevitable mentions. First, Derek White. If you love well-played basketball, White is a lesson in sobriety. He anticipates, shortens angles, treads the right line. Don't invent where you don't need to. And when the shot comes in volume, the court opens up in a way that favors everyone. Second, Peyton Pritchard. What an example of commitment to fundamentals. Rebounding out of position comes from 2 things: courage to make contact and box-out technique. Pritchard showed both. In a squad with high ambitions, winning a position here and there through pure effort is not a detail. It's culture. Now, let me put the clipboard down a little and talk to you eye to eye about an episode that goes beyond tactics. We played that technicians versus the media game. The score was tough. It hurt my pride. And I could choose to ignore it, but I prefer to face it head on, because this kind of night exposes something essential about all of us who experience the game, on and off the court. When the ball goes up, basketball becomes language. Every turn of the court, every effort to contest a shot even with your legs burning, every attempt to cross a block that looks like a wall, all of this says without words how much you are willing to offer. And honestly, I believe that this game showed a lot of people something obvious to anyone who has been in a gym for years. Journalists, cameramen, producers, photographers, people behind the scenes. This group loves the game, really loves. He loves to the point of exposing himself, of making mistakes in public, of being made fun of on his cell phone, and even so, coming back the next day to understand why the pressure outlet failed and how it could have been set up better. No, it's not the same love as those who decide games in the last 2 minutes of a conference final. We don't have the muscular explosion of an elite professional, but it's the same emotional engine. It's the taste for the process, the commitment to detail, the curiosity that never tires. And I confess that seeing some signs of respect on the other side, a coach who stays afterwards to observe, a player who makes a good provocation and at the same time gives advice on the court, says a lot about bridges that are worth more than likes on a viral video. Respect is a 2-way street. When a coach understands that uncomfortable questions also arise from those who breathe competition, everyone wins. When we recognize that, in the heat of the court, decisions come from an environment where the rule is what brings us closer to winning, the conversation gets better. In that sense, I left that episode less resentful than it seemed on the scoreboard. I was tired, of course, quadriceps pulsing, brakes worn out from all the stop and go, but above all, I came away remembering why this game binds us, because it tests us in a way that no spreadsheet can replicate. I come back to our team because that's what matters to you, who wants to look at the season and see the path forward. If I could choose 3 priorities for the starting block, they would be these. Take care of the ball, as if each possession were rare. High pace does not mean precipitation. If the defense went up the line and put pressure on the ball, punishing the excess with cuts to the back and simple passes already deflates the rival's strategy. Training triggers to relieve pressure. the pivot coming high for a short get, the winger crossing the court diagonally, the point guard using the center as a moving wall, greatly reduces tray donations. Defensive rebounding as a collective habit. It's not just about the 5 sealing the rival pivot. It's the 1 and 2 helping with the sandwich. It's the winger reversing to close the weak side. It's everyone accepting that the first contact is worth as much as the second climb. Teams that like to run need to deserve the transition. And then the magic happens. More clean rebounds, more 5-on-4 attack, more shots in rhythm, clear functions in rotation. The cast has a diversity of talents. This is strength, as long as expectations are explicit. There are Garza nights, there are Keita nights, there are Tillman nights, and there will be nights when White and Pritchard demand the ball to calm rough seas. The coach who communicates, "Today it's you because of this," wins the locker room. The player who listens and executes, even more so. And where do Minott and Simons fit into this equation? In opposite places for now, but which may touch each other throughout the year. Minott already offers impact without the need for volume, active defense, cuts, energy. That goes into any night. Simons, in turn, has a scoring ceiling that can unlock games as long as he adds layers, making better decisions in pick and roll, protecting possession, printing speed without losing control, and above all, learning to survive defensively the cruel details of the NBA. The block that comes a step earlier, the short roll that forces the low man to close, and his rotation becomes the difference between a shot contested and a free three-pointer. I know you are also curious about the young pieces and who is going to establish themselves. Here it is worth a dose of patience and another of sincerity. Not everyone is ready right now, and that's okay. The worst trap for a developing player is to be billed as a savior from Tuesday to Sunday. Evolution is not linear. There are nights when the ball arrives heavy. There are sequences in which the shot betrays you. On these days, disguising a mistake with effort and tactical lucidity is already a service provided. The rest comes with repetition and well-done video sessions. And since I mentioned the video, I return to a point that excites me, the competitiveness of the group. It's not empty speech. It's observing how, even in games where nothing falls, the team doesn't abandon defensive rotations, doesn't negotiate hand-to-hand in the paint, doesn't ask for relief in 50-50 balls. Teams that reach their ceilings are not the ones that don't make mistakes. They are the ones who make the least mistakes out of stubbornness. Identifying what was a failure in execution and what was the merit of the opponent is maturity. Correcting what is in your sphere every day is culture. I want to end the way we started, talking. If I were opening a video on the channel right now, I would ask one simple thing. Bring your magnifying glass for the season. Instead of just looking at the Stars' 30 points in the headline, look at who sealed the transition rebound. Pay attention to the ball-less cut that opened the infiltration. Notice who warned the defensive change a second before. It is these little big guys who, night after night, sustain victories. And of course, hold with me 2 anchors of expectation, possession and rebound. If we load these 2 columns with discipline, the rest flourishes. Spacing finds air, shooters breathe, stars choose better where and when to hurt. If we neglect, we will return to rowing against a river that does not forgive distractions. I believe that the preseason fulfilled its role. It raised alerts, revealed solutions, built a layer of respect between those who play, train, and cover. Is there an uncomfortable memory of a hard night? It was left. But, above all, the commitment remained that the next one will have more successes than slip-ups. This is how you build a season. One honest correction at a time, a conscious choice per possession, a box out that no one notices and is worth 2 points on the other side. If you've heard me this far, you're already with me in this process. So, let's go together. The calendar turns, stories begin again, and the margins, our margins, of possession and rebounding, of decision-making and discipline, can transform a good team into a team that is annoying in any gym. The ball will rise again, and the conversation continues in the next game.